See, Israel belongs to God. When Joshua entered the land, it was granted to the 12 tribes. That land was to stay with the tribe, okay? When you sold land, you didn't sell it in fee simple as we think of it in our culture. It was actually what we would consider a lease. You could sell the use of that land for whatever period of time transpired from then to the year of the Jubilee. Every 50 years, all land returned to its original owners. What you dealt with, what in our vocabulary would be leases, not sales in the fee simple sense. And so, when you sell your land, as I say, you sold just the rights to use it for a while. And in the year of Jubilee, every 50 years, the land would return to its original owners. Now, it happens they never really observed that. That's a whole other problem we don't have to get into here. And when you sold your land, the title deed would include rules for its redemption. In other words, let's assume you were destitute, you sold your land, the use of your land to somebody else. That contract would, on the outside of the scroll, would be the rules by which it could be redeemed by a relative. If a few years went by and you had a benefactor in the family that was willing to redeem that land for you, they could perform and pay the guy for the unused years and get it back. That's the concept of redemption, okay? And so the rules for redemption would be inscribed on the outside of that scroll. That's why when you see a scroll written within and on the backside, that implies it's a title deed, okay? And so the law required that if your next of kin would show up, there was some procedure by which you could purchase back. That was called redeeming the land. And the land is to be redeemed back to the one it was originally signed. To give you an example of this, a strange example, in Jeremiah 25, Jeremiah the prophet knew that the Babylonian captivity was about to begin and it would be 70 years. He was a prophet. He wrote that down. God instructs him to go buy some land before going into captivity. Boy, that's pretty stupid. He's going to go into captivity for more than the rest of his lifetime. In other words, he's already elderly, and the captivity would be 70 years. But he's instructed to go and buy this land. And it makes no sense. It's not explained. All you need to know is that title deed then would be buried in a jar, and his relatives would come back and unpack that jar, pull that out, and perform whatever it said, and regain that land. It's the part that it's not written you need to understand why he's doing that. It was a testimony to Jeremiah and those around him that they would return. He wouldn't, but his family would. That's what it was a promise. It was like a favorable prophecy, if you will. So after captivity, Jeremiah's descendants will come back and claim the land. The title deed would be a scroll on the back of which would detail the procedure. The whole concept becomes important. You need to understand all that when you get to Revelation chapter 5, because our Lord comes forth. Who is able to open the book and to loose the seals thereof? And I wept much because no man was found. It had to be a kinsman. No man was found worthy to open the book and loose the seals thereof. And one of the elders said, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah hath prevailed to open the book and loose the seals thereof. And I turned, and I saw the Lamb as it had been slain. I thought it was the Lion of the tribe of Judah. No, it's the Lamb, same thing. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, reigning king. The Lamb that had been slain, that's the Lamb that was nailed to a cross. The thorn-crowned one will come and open that book and take possession of that which he was paid for. He's redeeming the land. That will occur in Revelation. The whole picture of Revelation 5 will become clear if you understand this process.